Hey there, it's Tanya Peluso, and I'm creating this video because I miss you already. I'm having Tribe Builder Telesummit withdrawal. And I also just wanted to say hello and give you a little wrap up of the Telesummit, and I thought I'd highlight some of the things that I want you to get, some of the golden nuggets. So you ready? Here we go. So the first thing I want to share with you is that when you're building your tribe, it's really about who you are and who you're being. Because the tribe is a reflection of you. It's a mirror of you. So whoever you're being is how your tribe's going to show up and be as well. So if you are being someone who is totally in an abundance mentality, then you're going to attract people who are also in an abundance mentality. But if you're in a scarcity mentality and you're worried about money, guess what? You're going to have people show up who are worried about money. So some of the things that we learned about who you're being, we started off with Shanda Sumter, who taught us all about being in our queen and really taking care of ourselves and honoring ourselves as worthy as a queen. We also talked about how important it is for you to be in touch with your purpose. And the more that you can get clarity around that soul purpose that you have, that thing that you really want to show in the world. Sage taught us about this and did a beautiful meditation. We'll be able to really attract that tribe that really resonates with that purpose. But here's the thing. Your purpose and your work is going to constantly evolve. It's not going to stay the same. Tribal truth today is something completely different than what it was 2 years ago. So it's important for you to just take action, and whoever you're being now, you're going to continue to grow and evolve. So to always keep that in mind, keep the growth in mind, and just take the inspired, imperfect action. We also talked about being authentic. Who are you at your core? What are your values? What do you want to teach? Dr. Jennifer talked a lot about being authentic and being true to yourself and being vulnerable. You know, I've done a really good job, people have told me, of being really vulnerable and sharing parts of myself that, can be a little bit, for me, uncomfortable. Alexis Neely also did total truth-telling on our call about, just how she is throwing out half of her business and starting something new and just being totally real and raw about exactly where she's at. And there's something really important about this, I think, about being vulnerable and being real as a leader, because then people can identify you. Your tribe can really identify with you. And they'll resonate with your message because it's real. It's who you are. You're going to attract people exactly like you, remember? One of the other things that we talked about in the Telesummit is getting support. And two different ways of looking at this is building your support team. And Kyla Fennell did a great job at really talking about how do you build a team of people so that you're not doing it all on your own. The tribe's not necessarily all about you, it's about your message. So the more people you can have supporting your message and your movement, the more impact you're going to have on the world, right? So how do you attract those all-stars? And for me, it's really started from just simply delegating the things that I don't like to do, right? So bookkeeping, that's a great place for you to start. You can immediately start with a bookkeeper, and you can email me if you need one. I have a fantastic bookkeeper. She's been with me since the beginning. It's the best investment I can make every single month. You can also start with a VA. HireYourMom.com is a great site. That's where I got our amazing Tribal Truth assistant, Sarah, who is just fabulous. And, just start with small tasks that you can delegate. The other key part about getting support is making sure that you manage your time to get your self-care taken care of. So it's not about you pushing, and burning yourself out. This goes back to being the queen as well, of like who you're being and your best self. You can't be your best self if you're not taking care of you. So your support team can also be a massage therapist. What else do you need to make sure that you're taken care of and your body is operating at its best self? You're a well-oiled machine. And Allison Marks talked a lot about, time management and self-care and, just making sure that you're creating balance in your life. A huge part of creating your tribe and being a tribe builder and building a business that makes a huge impact in the world is about making sure that you have the right systems and structures. I resist this big time. I do not like to be caught in a structure because then I feel like constricted and like I can't flow, right? But when you can create structure and you can create systems, you can flow very organically and very fluidly inside of that structure. So some of the things that you want to look at in terms of creating a system and structure is creating training documents. So you can start documenting what you do so that you can create a training manual for someone to take over some of these things that you do. This goes back to getting your support team on board. I actually have my assistant do this. I have Sarah create training guide of everything that she does so that if something happens to her, it's replaceable, right? We can build tribal truth and we can create have it be bigger and bigger because we're creating the system and structure. One of the key parts of your structure needs to be your website. And I love how we had two copywriters as part of the Telesummit, Lisa Mannion and Michelle PW, who talked about some of the things that you need to do with your website. And your website is not something that is supposed to be pretty. Both of these fantastic copywriters talked about the importance of your copy. Your website can be one of your support team people if you have it be doing the work for you, which means your sales copy. What is your message that you're putting out there on your website? And is it acting like it's an individual speaking for you? It's not about fancy flash. You want to make sure, I'm just going to give you some tips right now that we got. You've got to have an opt-in. Give a free gift. Give something that people can get a taste of you and start to develop that relationship with you. And in exchange, you get their email address. And then what do you do from there? This is another place where you want to really dive in and start creating the system and structure. Create emails and create a calendar where you are constantly in contact with the people who are being attracted to your tribe. Building tribe is all about building relationships. You cannot build your tribe unless you have relationships with people. How do you communicate with people? Send them an email, right? Every single Tuesday, I have my Truth Telling Tuesday video. And both of the women, everyone's been talking about how important it is to maintain that relationship. But if you're only sending an email once a month, think about it. How many times do you open emails? Not that often. So to be sending an email at least once a week, and guess what? You can write these emails way in advance. You don't need to wait till Monday and then be spending 3 hours trying to figure out what you want to write about or the video that you want to make, right? You can create it and do it in a batch process and create it way in advance. This is just something that I've been doing and has been helpful, and I have it in my calendar, and it's all automated, and this is a great system and structure that you can put in place to really build that tribe. Teresa talked about growing your tribe globally. You can't do that if it's all on your shoulders. So by automating things, by having people be helping you, this is how you get the word out in a much bigger way.